Hey guys, welcome to the first top 5 video. As you would have seen on our Sunday first ever pod announcement show, we got top 5 DC movies of all time. We're excited to bring you our individual top 5s first, and then we're going to get on to rating each one of them, averaging it down to 10s, and revealing what the top 5 FourSquared DC movies of all time are. So let's get straight into it with our individual top 5s. Dowie, you're up.
Alright, what's up everybody? So this top 5 DC movies was kind of difficult for me at first, but then I remembered there are older DC movies and that a man named Christopher Nolan made a certain trilogy that's going to show up a few times. Number 5 for me is Superman from 1978. Got my Superman shirt on. It was groundbreaking for the time. It's aged a little bit.
A little
now.
bit?
That's pretty
40
years
years old. A little bit, but
aged.
it really started the Superman craze of massive blockbusters, great special effects for the time. And yeah, I enjoy it still today, even though it's aged a little bit.
Alright, Dowie with Superman 1978. Over to Josh.
I went for the all-star casted Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren, and John Malkovich movie Red. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you don't think it's a DC movie, look it up. DC comic. It's great. It's way better than Superman.
That's not better than Superman.
It's not better than Superman.
Superman has Gene Hackman and
Did you say
Christopher
Gene
Reeve.
Hackman compared to those people that I read out?
It's Jake's turn.
Alright, my number 5 is another Superman movie, but it's one of the more recent ones. It is not Batman vs. No one should have that.
Oops. No, okay.
Thank goodness.
But I did really enjoy the original Superman, and that will come up on a list later. But for now, I did actually love the remake, Man of Steel. So that is my number 5.
I did not enjoy that film at all.
What is that noise?
Shawnee boy.
Yeah, I didn't really get into the Superman movies either, but Josh, you're going to have to groan like that times 2, because I also had Man of Steel.
2 votes already.
That's not in our top 5. That can't be in our top 5.
Oh, 2 votes already.
Oh, we're done already.
I did not
this top 5
enjoy
is
Man of
disgusting.
Steel.
It was okay. I had to put it there.
Why'd you have to put it there? You just said it.
Because I don't like much.
Okay.
I have my top 3 are the only ones that I like. The other 2 just snuck in because they were okay.
So my number 4, this is where we start to get to movies I kind of enjoy. So I'm going to start with the trilogy here, Christopher Nolan's fantastic Batman trilogy. And at number 4, I have The Dark Knight Rises.
Ooh.
They can't stack up to another installment from that series that's going to be later on in my list. But it was decent, and I enjoyed it. And I love Tom Hardy as Bane.
So I got number 4. It wasn't a greatly received movie. Keanu Reeves, and it's Constantine.
Ooh.
I didn't watch it too long ago. It's enjoyable.
It's hard not to enjoy Keanu Reeves in a killing role, though.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to hell and back.
It's hard not to enjoy Keanu Reeves. Let's just full stop it there.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, that's
it's pretty easy,
true.
actually.
It's pretty true.
Wow.
I think it's...
He is one of the worst actors ever, probably.
Matrix and John Wick. Stick to those roles. Go on.
Alright, my number 4 is, again, one of the more recent ones. And this one I actually did enjoy. I went to see it in the cinema, and I didn't know if I would or not because I've never seen this actress before. It is the latest Wonder Woman. I liked it. It was a good first step.
Yeah, that was one of the better recent.
It's definitely better than your last entry.
Yes, much better than Man of Steel.
Wow.
Shawnee, number 4.
So yeah, my number 4 is Batman Begins.
You're not disappointing me too much with this one.
So that's not in your actual enjoyable DC movies?
Yeah, Batman Begins is
it's decent.
good for an origin story. It's a pretty good origin story.
Yeah, I thought it was a great start to that trilogy.
Alright, my number 3. So I'm going to stick with my man Batman for number 3, but I'm going to go in a different series direction and Michael Keaton's Batman from 1989.
Mark me down for number 3 too.
The best Batman, better than Bale. And then you got Jack Nicholson as a fantastic Joker. Maybe Ledger overshadowed him, but it's 2 completely different performances and I love them both.
I would have said that Jack Nicholson was the best Joker in my opinion, and that Batman wasn't a great Batman. Bale had like a darkness and an anger and it was good.
No, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
Bale was just a true representation of what this broken man would be.
Bale was like,
I thought Bale was way too over. Bale was way too over the top.
Bale brought it back to like that dark sort of
Yeah, it was dark.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what it was
well-
supposed to be like.
Like Batman from 1989's more got some dark tones in it, but it's more of a family flick type thing. It's a little lighter. But
And Josh had that too.
Yep,
So
mark
and number
down.
3 for Mike and Josh. My number 3 is the original Superman. The not the original, but the 1978 Superman.
see, Josh,
I remember
people
watching
do
it
like that.
super young.
What was that?
I watched it young, and I remember it fondly, and that was my first ever like encounter with Batman, and it was a worthy one.
Superman.
So, I mean, with Superman, yeah. My first encounter with Batman is Batman with Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy and George Clooney as
gosh.
Batman.
Oh gosh.
That's a good one.
Let's not talk about that.
My number 3 is Dark Knight Rises. Now we're getting to where I actually enjoyed them.
It was
Tom
sick.
Hardy was awesome as Bane.
And Hathaway kills him. Lame.
Yeah,
What?
that was pretty lame. Spoilers.
Lame.
Okay, guys, so my number 2, I'm sticking with Batman again. Obviously, I love Batman. I don't think anyone else will have. And it's Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
The Mask. Yeah, Mask
At
of
number
Phantasm.
2.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I love Batman, the animated series. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love the animation. Mark Hamill is the Joker. If we're talking about best Joker, it's Mark Hamill as the Joker in the animated
Whoa,
series.
Or maybe his voice. Yeah.
Could you really
yeah.
count it? He doesn't do the action.
Yeah, you count it. Kevin Conroy as Batman, I also love. It's dark and it's fun. It's got a great mystery to it. And yeah, number 2 is
Yeah, that is
Batman
cool.
Mask
Good.
of the
Yeah, that is
Phantasm.
really
That
good.
was a good kids movie.
Yeah, but it's dark though. It's like a kid's movie, but it's pretty dark at the same time.
It was a great kids
Guys, you need
movie.
to know that it was dark.
People
Right?
get murdered.
The children enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Alright, Josh is
I'm going to go with my number 2.
Down his gun.
I'm going to go with my number 2.
He's done.
Number 2. I'm sticking with the Batman theme because they're like the only good superhero DC movies. The Dark Knight.
Ooh, Dark Knight
Wow.
number 2.
Wow.
There's one
Wow.
better than that. I think all you guys might have it as your number 1, but there's one movie better than that.
Oh, spoilers.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Yeah. Who said I had it as number 1?
Sorry.
I've got Love and Basketball as number 1.
What's your number 2, Jake?
Number 2, I have the Jack Nicholson representation of the Joker. My favorite ever Joker. Not my favorite
that
ever
surprises
combination
me.
of Batman and the Joker, but it's my favorite singular Joker performance, and that was the Batman 1989.
That's a big
It is very
surprise.
fun.
That Jake
I
likes
love
Nicholson's
Heath.
Joker.
I
The
love
legend.
Heath. My Bale and Heath to me were better than Keaton and Nicholson, but Nicholson's standalone Joker was the best for me. So I got Batman 8.
I think you have that the wrong way around, but each to their own.
Well, that's what I said
Each
before
to their
about you,
own.
Josh. Yeah, that's what I said about. That's what I said before.
Each to their own.
about you.
Each to
That's
their
what I say
own.
about you, Josh. All right, Sean, what's your number
It
2?
just stopped.
Go ahead, Shorty. What's the number 2?
Alright. So my number 2, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think
I would guess.
Gal Gadot does a really good job in
No,
Wonder Woman 2017.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah, I thought it was
That's
really
good.
good, like action. I like Dr. Poison was like a weirdo. That's good.
Yeah.
It made it interesting.
Nice.
When you compare it to DC movies as a whole, Wonder Woman. Was
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman
pretty solid.
kills it. I reckon it's great.
So my number 1 is Suicide Squad.
That's not.
I really like Suicide Squad because of how much of a piece of crap it was. I really enjoyed that about it. No, my number 1's The Dark Knight. What else can it be?
Yep.
A fantastic
I'll tell you what
film.
else it can be.
Bale's great in it. Ledger's fantastic. He's iconic. One of the great villain portrayals ever. Showed Batman, but like has so many themes in it. It's like a superhero movie with so many crime drama themes. And
I'm going to cut in and say that I had that as well at number 1. And if you did as well, Sean, please do say.
Oh yeah, I definitely
us
did.
3 had it
You
number
did?
1.
All right,
Yeah.
us 3.
All right.
Dark Knight number 1.
Yeah.
That means we can leave Josh's stupid number 1.
Yeah.
For
No,
It
no,
won't,
number
it won't
1 is-
even be in our
Josh,
top
what do you
five
have as
because
number
you
1?
guys. I don't think you guys have even seen this movie, but it has the great Ed Harris and the great Viggo Mortensen, however you say his last name. A History of Violence.
Oh, I have seen that movie.
Absolute amazing movie.
Has anyone seen Justice League?
Yeah,
Yes.
piece of crap.
Well, some of it, I turned it off.
Didn't even give her a chance, Mike.
I turned Justice League off. No, seriously. I turned Justice League off. I turned Batman vs Superman off. And I turned Suicide Squad off about halfway through. I turned those 3 movies off.
I couldn't turn Suicide Squad off. I was in the cinemas. It was hard. Alright guys, so that's our individual top 5s. Who did you agree with most? You can leave it in the comments after this vid. We're going to cut to an ad quickly before we get back to you with our official top 5, and we're going to get to you our ratings, and you'll see what came number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Back in 1 minute.
Candles. Aromatic. Tasteful. I bet you put them on before you go to sleep. But guess what? Candles use fire, and fire uses oxygen. Placing a candle near your bed can decrease your oxygen supply by up to 40%, leading to symptoms like coughing, choking, struggling to breathe, and death by asphyxiation, death by dying. So remember, candles, not worth it.
Welcome back guys. We are ready to give you our official top 5. So, we had The Dark Knight with 4 votes, and we had, I believe it was Batman 1989 with 3 votes. So they secured their place. We then had Man of Steel, Superman 1978, Wonder Woman, and what was the 4th one we had? Dark Knight Rises. So those 4 all came in with 2 votes each. So we had to decide one of them to kick it out, and we ended up deciding on Man of Steel to kick that out. So our official top 5 is The Dark Knight, Batman 1989, Superman 1978, Wonder Woman, and Dark Knight Rises. We're going to get straight into giving our individual ratings out of 10 for them, and then we'll average them all down and we'll reveal our official top 5 DC movies of all time. So Mike, give us your rating on The Dark Knight.
Love The Dark Knight. It is probably my all-time favorite superhero movie, counting DC and Marvel. Great crime drama, great heroes, great villains, great story. So I'm going to have to give it 8.4.
8.4? That's
for
lower.
The Dark Knight.
So I got a pretty close score to Mike. I gave it an 8.5 just because I loved the performance of Heath Ledger alone. I don't really like Christian Bale as Batman, but I thought it was a really solid movie.
Alright, Sean's, what's your Dark Knight rating?
Yeah, I gave it an 8.5 as well, similar to Josh's. I think Heath Ledger does a great job. But I actually liked Bale as well. I think he definitely brings back that comic book feel.
I'm going to round off the Dark Knight ratings. I'm going to go with this is by far my favorite superhero movie of all time. So The Dark Knight, for me, is a hefty 9.1.
Ooh, 9.1.
Very high. Very high.
Alright, up next on our list was Wonder Woman. Mike, what's your score?
Alright guys, so I saw Wonder Woman on DVD not too long ago. I did enjoy it. It's definitely one of the better recent DC movies, but that's not saying much because most of them have been garbage lately. But this is a shining light in a pile of crap. So for that,
Fair enough.
I'm going to give it a respectable 7.1.
Dumb.
7.1.
That's very low, I think.
I have Wonder Woman low as well. I think it's respectable. I have it as 7.3, but it's not even the lowest rating I have for this list.
Josh not liking this list? That's fine.
No.
That's fine. Kind of everything you want. White privilege, white privilege, white privilege.
Who's yelling white privilege?
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Alright, Sean's Wonder Woman rating.
Yep, so I'm going to jump up from what Josh and Mike said because it is one of my favourite DC movies. And I'm going to give it a 8.1. Simply because it is just one of my more favourite movies in the
Pretty
DC realm.
Way too high.
But not for a DC movie. Like, out of the DC movies,
But
it's
this
just
is out
one
of
of my favourite
movies,
ones.
Sean. It's not just out of DC movies. This is out of movies.
Yeah, it's just
rate
a
it. What do you
movie
rate
rating.
it, Joshua?
I had Wonder Woman at 4th on my list, so I did like it. It's not as high as Sean's, and it's not as low as Josh, so I'm going to go with a respectable 7.6 for Wonder Woman. I did enjoy it.
Alright, 7.6.
7.6.
Up next on the list, we have The Dark Knight Rises, the epic conclusion to the trilogy. Dowie, what do you give it?
So I thought it was decent. end to Christopher Nolan's trilogy. I like it better than Batman Begins. I thought it was a better ending than a beginning. Cannot hold up to The Dark Knight. I saw it in cinemas. I remember being very disappointed after watching it. Repeating viewings, I enjoyed it a little more, but definitely a letdown after the fantastic Dark Knight. So with all that being said, I am going to give it a solid score because it is a great film and Tom Hardy is fantastic in it. So is Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. So I'm going to give it a 7.6.
All right, over to Josh.
After seeing it in the cinemas, it wasn't a good time to see it because I watched The Dark Knight just before I went to watch that and it was such a letdown. But I'm going to go a little bit lower than Mike and give it a 7.5.
All right, Sean, what do you give The Dark Knight?
I obviously am going to give it a higher rating than Josh and Mike because I, again, enjoyed, out of the DC movies that I like, that's another one that I actually enjoyed. So I'm going to give it a 7.7.
And I did actually love The Dark Knight Rises. I loved his time. I can't remember what it was called now, but when he was in the pit.
Yeah, when he climbs up the prison.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
How dark and hopeless he got in there. Number 4 on the list was Batman, the 1989 Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton version. So we're going to get straight into that. Mike, what's your scores on that?
I love it. It was my favorite Batman movie before The Dark Knight came around. At one time, especially when I was younger, it was my favorite superhero movie. Repeated viewings as I've gotten older, it doesn't hold up as well as it used to, but I love Jack Nicholson. He's one of my all-time favorite actors, and I love Michael Keaton as Batman, best Batman in my opinion. So I'm going to give it 7.8.
I'm just going to piggyback right off Mike, and it was my third too, and I also gave it a 7.8.
I also had... No, I'm kidding. Go for like a triple back here. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.6. For some reason, when it comes to superhero movies, I just enjoy the more newer ones. No idea why.
Probably the effects.
Wow! Nah, it's not.
Probably the crappy effects.
Oh, I'm done. I'm out.
Well, they're not crappy. Batman 1989, my favourite version ever of the Joker, only slightly, but I love Jack Nicholson. I love how crazy and uncontrollable he was. I'm going to go with an 8.3 for Batman 1989.
Ooh.
I feel like Heath Ledger was a lot crazier.
Yeah, so do I. Heath Ledger's way crazy.
They're different types of crazy.
Yeah, he was a different type of crazy. All right, and number 5 on our official top 5 DC movies of all time was the 1978 Superman with Christopher Reeves. Mike, what do you give that one?
I don't think it's aged incredibly well, but Gene Hackman's a fantastic actor. Christopher Reeves is good in it. Plus, you can never go wrong with Marlon Brando.
Island of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah, well, shut up.
His remake of Willy Wonka that no one saw because it was that bad.
He wasn't in it. But anyway, because of how groundbreaking it was and really started a trend of big blockbuster superhero movies, I have respect for it. But because it hasn't aged incredibly well, I'm going to give it a 7.4.
Josh, what do you give your favourite movie of all time?
Yeah, Josh,
I'm not a fan of this. And I disagree with Mike. It has not aged a little bit. It has aged a lot. And I am not respecting this movie, and I give it a 6.8. I'm not a fan.
Damn.
Why?
I'm a fan of the Superman.
That's not bad.
Why?
I don't think
bad for a bad movie.
No, I mean, it's not like it's not like a piece of crap. I don't think Christopher Reeves is the best Batman.
He's Superman, not Batman.
Superman. Isn't it true? He's not the best Batman.
Yeah, that's true. He's not the best Batman.
He's not the best Batman.
100% true. All right, Sean, what do you give Superman 1978?
Yeah, so mixed in with that I didn't really get into the Superman movies and just the fact that it's like really old and basic, I'm going to give it a 7.
My rating for Superman 1978, as I said before, it was my first introduction to Superman and it holds a dear place in my heart. It's my lowest score out of the ones so far, but it is still a respectable score of 7.5 out of 10.
Pretty good.
All right, those were our individual out of 10 scores for the top 5 DC movies of all time. We're going to quickly tally them up and we'll be right back with the ranking list. All right, welcome back. We have tallied up our scores and we now have our official top 5 ranking list. We're going to get straight into it with our number 5 DC movie of all time, Mike.
At number 5, we had the 1978 version of Superman. As you heard, some people disrespect this film. But overall, we got it at a respectable score, and our number 5 is Superman at a 7.1.
Excuse me.
Alright guys, at number 4, coming in at 7.5, we have the 2017 Wonder Woman.
Number 3, we have the 2012 Dark Knight Rises with a score of 7.7.
Calm down, Doctor. Now is not the time for fear. That comes later.
Coming in at number 2 was the 1989 version of Batman. That comes in with a 7.8, only nudging out Dark Knight Rises by 0.1.
What are you? I'm Batman.
Alright guys, and our number 1 DC movie of all time by a landslide is Christopher Nolan's crime drama, fantastic superhero film. What else could it be but The Dark Knight with an 8.6. Notice no newer movies except for Wonder Woman because the newer ones suck.
But Wonder Woman is good though.
Wonder Woman's good, the rest suck.
There you
Okay,
go.
shouldn't be in there
Pick
though.
up
you
your
were gonna
game,
say decent.
DC. Pick up your game.
sucks.
Alright guys, we hope you enjoyed our top 5 DC movies of all time. Quick recap. Number 5 with a 7.1 out of 10, Superman, 1978. Number 4 with a 7.5 out of 10, Wonder Woman. Number 3 with a 7.7, Dark Knight Rises. Number 2, Batman 1989 with a 7.8 out of 10. And number 1, the reigning champ of all DC movies, it was 8.6 out of 10, The Dark Knight.
Alright guys, that's a wrap. Hope you all enjoyed our top 5 DC films of all time. Make sure if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're notified with all our newest content.
Alright, make sure you leave below your individual top 5 DC movies of all time and who you agreed with the most.
Follow Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check out our website for exclusive content. All the links in the description below.
Alright guys, and we will see you on Thursday when we're going to cover the entire Jurassic Park series. We are going to do Steven Spielberg's classic action-adventure Jurassic Park. We're going to do The Lost World. We're going to do Jurassic Park 3. And yes, we're even going to do Jurassic World. All in anticipation for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which we are then going to review on Saturday. We'll see you then.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
2, 1, dance. Where's Sean?